Hello, tonight I'm going to speak to you on misinformation on health. I'm Coach Zack. Coach Zack. I've been speaking over the video through Facebook for about almost 2 years, and I think I had about no less than 50 videos on various aspects of health, but all have been in Bahasa Malaysia, because my idea was to convey the information to as many Malay-speaking people as possible, because there are so many information on health in English. However, I've been receiving so many requests from friends to ask me to do it in English. So this is my first attempt to speak in English. So the topic will be, to start off, to discuss with you various aspects of misinformation or confusion that we are receiving from different areas. Some are advertently made for us to believe for some purpose, but some out of sincerely, people are not sure, maybe misinformation based on that. Go now. I'm focusing more on the current health problems related to diet, such as diabetes, obesity, and related diseases, and heart disease, cancer. These are things that happen, they are contributed by what we eat. People say we are what we eat. If we eat garbage, we have garbage in our tummy, but if we eat well, we can be healthy. So we are what we do not eat also. There are certain things that we should eat but we don't eat. So both we are what we eat and we are what we don't eat. Okay, now let's look at various views of health based on the old wisdom. Okay, Chinese, through traditional Chinese medicine, which is about 5,000 years old, they have many observations on health with certain specific explanation. But the main thing, the Chinese say, whatever is the father of disease, the mother is bad diet. Mother is more important than father. Whatever the father of a disease, the mother is bad diet. And of late, they add, Western diet is like burning wet wood. It's hard to burn wet wood. You have to smoke it up first until it's dry and it can burn. So that's why people cannot lose weight easily, because they have wet fat. I mean, high insulin actually. Then in India has got Ayurvedic. In Ayurvedic, it's one simple saying: if your diet is bad, medicine is no use. Your diet is good, medicine is no need. So in other words, it's all diet. Good diet, like no need to have medicine. Bad diet, medicine also cannot be so useful to you. Then Islam focus on prevention. That is, eat only when you are hungry. Eat when you are hungry. Stop before you are full. But what do? When we are not hungry, we eat. When we are full, we don't stop. So we have a problem. And when you eat, you reserve 1/3 of the space for food, 1/3 for fluid, 1/3 for air. So we cannot eat to the fullest. It cannot be like gluten, like gluten and gluten is no word. Gluten and gluten. Okay. Anyway, and what does modern science say? One famous doctor said, only 1/4 of what you eat is for you to live. The remaining 3/4 is for a doctor to live. Meaning that we eat a lot of bad stuff. And in the olden days, people eat only, I think at the most twice a day. Maybe late breakfast and early dinner. That's all. But we all, whether in the Western world or in Malaysia, we eat about 6 times a day. Breakfast, 10 o'clock food, lunch, tea time, dinner, and supper. So 6. So how can your pancreas support your problem. So now, in view of this, so let's get into some aspect of thing in the body that we are so scared of. Okay, one of the most important thing that we have is our phobia for cholesterol. Phobia for cholesterol. Cholesterol. Okay. A lot of people after the age of 40 spend a lot of money on cholesterol medication because people associate high-fat diet has a lot of cholesterol. High cholesterol lead to heart disease. So cholesterol is a multi-trillion industry. But in 2015, American government, USDA, I think, or FDA, has issued a statement to state that cholesterol does not cause heart disease, neither does it stop heart disease. Because cholesterol has its role in our system. Our liver produces 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol a day. 3,000 milligrams is 3 grams. So, if you eat, say, 500 milligrams of cholesterol that day, your body will adjust. It produces only 2,500 and so on. So there's a self-adjustment. The body will try to keep us in balance, so that we try to adjust, we try to stay healthy out of even bad eating. There is some mechanism to try to retain us. Because why? The problem with us, we live on medication. They have done a research in America. Properly prescribed medicine is the fourth leading cause of death in America. Look at properly prescribed, not a street medicine, by well-meaning doctor with good knowledge, and yet it is the fourth leading cause of death. I'm not talking about improper prescription, wrong prescription, or they treat you wrongly, but I'm talking about a perfect medication can cause death. People, meaning that he has a lot of side effects. I'm not anti-medicine, but I'm all for getting people to be less dependent on medication. So, despite the advancement in medicine and technologies, yes, we have managed to increase our lifespan. But despite the longevity we attain, we are living shorter and dying longer. Meaning that you live well up to the age of 30, maybe. And then from 30 to 70, you are on medication. So what is the purpose? Especially here to carry diabetes medication, heart medication, gout, cholesterol, and all kind of stuff. So we are eating a lot of sometimes poison, So this is very important. So now cholesterol, I said, there are two types, HDL and LDL. HDL, high density lipoprotein, and low density. So HDL is said to be good, which I agree, and LDL cholesterol, actually it's neutral. It is not so good. But there are two types of LDL. LDL-A is totally neutral. LDL-B, what it does, when there is injury inside our blood vessel, due to free radicals or due to all kinds of stuff that we eat a lot of processed food, so we can cause some injury. So when cholesterol come and patch the wound to prevent from maybe internal bleeding, but when it patches the wound, it forms a bump. Then when calcium pass by or triglyceride pass by, it stays there. They pile up and they block the artery. So when you get your heart attack, people look at it, cholesterol is a culprit because it is the first layer above the injury. So the cholesterol goes there to help you from dying fast. But unfortunately, because of calcium and so on, okay, talking about calcium, while I'm at it, actually a large portion of heart attack is caused by calcification. Calcification means calcium in the valve of your heart, calcium in your blood vessel. So calcification People seldom do calcium score. You go ask doctor, maybe they say not necessary calcium score, but it's important to know whether you have a lot of calcium or not. Okay, now, when people attain the age of 50 or 60, or women get their menopause, normally their bone density become decreased, so doctor prescribe calcium. Okay, if you take calcium carbonate, it's just like eating raw. You have to take calcium citrate. Okay, now, but the trouble is, it takes a 100 milligram of calcium. Only 20 milligram goes to your bone to address the osteoporosis. The remaining 80 milligram out of 100, 20 goes to your bone, goes all over your body. They get stuck in your blood vessel, on the epithelium, and then also in your heart. And then they accumulate, and they can cause blockage, so you can get a heart attack. But fortunately, in the last couple of years, people have discovered vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 helps, like it has like a claw, to remove calcium from the valve of your heart, from your blood vessel. They scrape it, it scrapes all this and bring to your bone and your jaw, add calcium. So vitamin K2 is good. But when you take calcium, normally people prescribe vitamin D3. D3 helps to increase absorption, but D3 does not control where calcium goes. So you may take along with K2. So K2 will make sure that it goes to the bone, to the teeth, to the jaw. So where do you get vitamin K2? You can buy from the pharmacy, or you eat fat or meat from grass-fed cow or goats, or free-roaming chicken. So grass-fed animal has a high in vitamin K2. So you can eat even the fat of a cow, make a soup or eat, or you get butter. Grass-fed butter like Anchor or Kerrygold has got vitamin K2. What I would do, I put half cup of hot coffee, no sugar. I add butter, blend and drink. So I get my vitamin K2 supply. So I'm already 73, so I can assume there is a certain degree of calcification. Hopefully, by taking butter or grass-fed meat or fat, or then I have enough K2 to address my calcification problem. Okay, now that is but I talk about HDL cholesterol. Then I discussed about butter, about K2 and so on. And then also LDL, in other words, in order for you to, LDL can cause some problem when it get oxidized. It get oxidized, it can rupture, cause plaque and so on. They have problem. So what you do to reduce LDL, you take sugar. I cut sugar. You reduce sugar from your diet. There's a tendency for LDL to go down over a period of time. So sugar is the biggest culprit in your diet, which I will discuss separately. And then there's so much, a bit on cholesterol, and then fat. Okay, before, your brain is largely made of cholesterol. Your cell, your hormone need cholesterol. So your body produces 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol. Okay, fat. People are so scared of fat. Fat does not make you fat. Fat does not make you fat. It is sugar and carbohydrate that make you fat. Okay, now. But there are good fat and bad fat. Okay. Bad fat contains high omega-6 fatty acid, such as vegetable oil. It has a very high omega-6. We need omega-3 to balance with omega-6. The best ratio will be like 2 parts of omega-6, 1 part omega-3. Then you are good. So example, American diet has got a ratio almost 40 to 1. 40 omega-6, 1 omega-3. That's why people get sick. Vegetable oil has got a ratio of about up to 60 omega-6 and 1 omega-3. So it's very, very inflammatory. Omega-6 is cause inflammation. Omega-3 is anti-inflammation. So we have to balance up so that there is no inflammation. Because inflammation leads to heart disease and many other problems. So now, your vegetable oil like sunflower, corn oil, canola, these are high in omega-6. So you should take for cooking will be coconut oil or palm oil. They are very low in omega-6, good in omega-3. So oil minum drink, what I do, I drink a lot of virgin coconut oil and even santan, the coconut milk. You either cook the food with coconut milk, which has good fat, or you make a cup of coffee, half a cup of coffee, no sugar, pour half a cup of santan, coconut milk, then you drink. Or you put butter in your coffee also, you can get vitamin K2. So fat is good. Fat is good. We need fat. Okay. The reason why people are scared of fat, when you cook a curry using meat with a lot of fat, okay, when it is heated, you don't see the fat. You take, it is so good, but you put it aside for about 2 or 3 hours. When the temperature is low, at room temperature, you can see fat surfacing up, floating. You can even hold pieces of fat. Then you say, this is the one that can cause blockage. No. This fat solidify at room temperature. When it is hotter, it will melt. Your body is hot inside there, very high temperature, so fat cannot solidify. So the fat you get inside your blood vessel is triglyceride, bad fat, because you take a lot of sugar and carbohydrate. What happens? When you eat carbohydrate or sugar, it is converted into glucose. Glucose is sent to your blood vessel. You have about 30 trillion cells that need energy. So pancreas, when sensing that there is a lot of sugar in the bloodstream, will send signal to cell to open up. Hey cell, open up. So the receptor is open, so sugar can go in. So when sugar is taken, there's no more sugar left, you are okay. But if you eat a lot of carbohydrate, take a lot of sugar day in, day out, then you have excess sugar floating. What happens? Insulin from your pancreas will take all this sugar, store in the form of fat. So carbohydrate converted to sugar, some use by yourself for energy, the rest stored fat as a spare tire here, or fat in your heart or in your liver. So then that causes a problem, not the fat that you eat. Whether eggs, milk. When you drink milk, don't go for skim milk. Go for high fat or like a saturated fat milk. That is very good. When they remove, they go low fat. There are a lot of low fat items. They add sugar and something else to make it taste good. Low fat food never tastes good. High fat food tastes good. So don't be afraid of fat. But later I'll speak specifically in detail on this thing. Another one is salt. People are so scared of salt simply because they say it can cause high blood pressure. It is true in a way. Actually, your salt, sodium chloride, need to be balanced with potassium. You need to take potassium about 4,700 milligrams a day to stay healthy. If there's enough potassium, it will balance with your salt, you won't get blood pressure. So most of us are low in potassium. You need about 4,700 milligrams, equivalent to 7 servings of green vegetable, which we never had enough. So we have to maybe buy green vegetable, blend and drink the juice, because we don't hope people can finish 7 servings. So now, because we are so scared of salt, they go on low salt diet. What happened? Sodium chloride is a main ingredient for hydrochloric acid to digest your food. So if you are low on salt, you have weak acid, you can get bloating or you can get acid reflux. The problem is, when you have acid reflux, because the word acid, you take alkaline water. That is totally wrong. When there is not enough acid, there is not enough digestion, you have acid reflux. So by right, take more salt, increase acidity in your stomach so that you can digest the food. So these are the things I am talking. This is my first over series. I hope my English is audible enough, my pronunciation is good enough for you to understand. Okay, so these are things I will have a series of talk later on. If this seems to be useful, please go to Coach Zack Facebook and then please share. Thank you very much. I'll see you again. Thank you.